Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, not really games, but we got practice. Yeah, that's right. We're talking practice in today's video. We're going to be discussing some news and some takeaways from OTA Day 1 for the New Orleans Saints. A lot of reports coming in from all sorts of outlets like Ross Jackson, John Hendricks, Nick Underhill, Mike Triplett, Jeff Duncan, Aaron Summers, Catherine Terrell. Everyone's been posting and everyone's been giving us updates. So I'm going to kind of bring everything together and give you everything you need to know. So if you want more OTA videos like this video, you better like this video. You see what I'm doing there? You need to hit the thumbs up icon because we got updates coming to you every single day throughout OTAs, throughout training camp and mini camp. So don't miss out on a thing like today's video. If we get 300 or 400 of them, I'm going to make another one tomorrow. So in terms of some players not present, this is worth noting, and this is something that I know a lot of you guys are going to be concerned about, but Marshon, Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, Alvin, Kamara are among the more notable names that were not present at practice today. However, I want to make one thing very, very clear. Right now, we are in the optional phase of OTAs. This is the optional practices. It's not mandatory. They do not have to be there. So do not overreact to some players that are missing, especially Marshon Lattimore. That doesn't mean he's going to get traded. Dennis Allen today in a press conference after practice wrapped up actually was asked, do you expect Marshon Lattimore to be on the roster in 2024? Before he could even get the question out, Dennis Allen chimed in and said, yes, I believe Marshon Lattimore, and I expect him to be on the roster this year. But I want to just kind of go through some individual players and some individual stuff here. So Trevor Penning actually got work at right tackle today, whereas Taliese Fuaga, who was a right tackle in college, if you remember, got work on the left side. And this actually isn't that surprising. At rookie minicamp, Taliese Fuaga actually got run on the left side as well. So just to kind of add some context here, I do also think that this is just the right thing to do for the Saints. You know that Taliese Fuaga can play the right side. Let's see if you can play the left side. Why not? You know Trevor Penning struggles on the left side, so let's see how he plays on the right side. Why not? And this is what you got to do. This is the time of the year to do that kind of stuff. And I actually believe that this report right here is really telling about the Saints draft plans. In their plans for Trevor Penning this year, O-line coach John Benton said that the plan was to move Trevor Penning to the right tackle side regardless if New Orleans had picked Taliese Fuaga. Penning played right tackle at OTAs today. So there is that. I found that pretty interesting, and I think that that's pretty telling as to why and what they're trying to do with Trevor Penning this year under Clint Kubiak's new system. So we'll see how things pan out for the player, but I want you to tell me really quickly, what was your favorite addition that New Orleans made this offseason, whether it was a draft pick, a coaching hire, a free agency pickup, whatever. I want you to let me know what your favorite addition was. We got an injury update around Ryan Ramczyk as well, the starting right tackle for New Orleans, the long-term starter. Dennis Allen spoke about him today. He said that he expects to know more about his availability as we get closer to training camp. So the update is there's really not much of an update, but he spoke on it. It's the head coach talking about an injured player and an injured all-pro player nonetheless. So, of course, we're going to discuss that here on the show. I do think it's going to be tough to see Ryan Ramczyk play early, at least this season. So getting Trevor Penning, work on the right side, I do think makes some sense. And there was actually reports out there that he looked pretty comfortable and that he seemed to be a good fit with the Clint Kubiak system on the right side. But before we get to more updates and more notes around the Saints OTAs, gotta live some good vibrations, baby. I'm actually here. Watch this. I'm gonna do a little jump. Ready? Chubby shorts. I'm rocking them today because they're my favorite shorts I own. The sky's out. You know what that means, baby. Thighs are out. Chubby makes clothes that make every moment feel like a vacation and Mondays feel like Saturdays. Some people wear tuxedo t-shirts to show that they like to party. But for me, I rock Chubby shorts, swimsuits, and shirts by the pool when I'm at the bar or when I'm kicking it back with the homies. So crack open a cold one and make any day feel like a Saturday when you use our code CHAT. That's code CHAT to get 20% off when you visit chubbyshorts.com. Now, I'm a dude who's got tree trunks for thighs and a perfect dad bod build, but Chubby's is a really good match to fit my style and my new unique build. With a variety of high-quality, everyday men's apparel, you can pick from the most comfortable shorts you'll wear all summer long. Whether it's swim trunks, pants, polos, and even button-down shirts, Chubbies has it all. And they'll make your grandma praise in how well you clean up, and it'll make your girlfriend want to get down. Embrace the spirit of endless summer with Chubbies, the ultimate destination for bold, vibrant, and outrageously comfortable clothing. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners at Saints Now by Chat Sports 20% off your order with our exclusive code when you use code CHAT. That's code CHAT at chubbiesshorts.com. The link and information is in the comment section and description of this video. Get you some Chubbies and let the weekend begin. Hey, and we're letting the football season begin, and we're also letting Taysom Hill begin to cook with the new position group. We're going to add another little tally to all of the things Taysom Hill can do. He actually got some work with the fullbacks today. He also got run with the tight ends, which is the position he played last year. And it's pretty clear Clint Kubiak is very excited to have Taysom Hill in this role. And I will add this, it's very, very obvious that he's going to have a big-time role in the Saints offense. Clint Kubiak, he's not an idiot. He knows what the hell he's doing, and he knows what Taysom Hill can do. Even Dennis Allen was asked, so are you going to maybe take Taysom Hill out of the running quarterback? Are you going to keep him running? Yes, Taysom Hill will be running the football. Literally started laughing. He was like, game plan for it. That's what we're going to do. I kind of love it. It works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So shout out to DA and shout out to Clint Kubiak for trying to incorporate Taysom Hill more this year than they did last year. Now, this might be the most interesting point throughout the entire OTA's day one takeaways from what I gathered. Jake Haener looked amazing today. He looked apparently really, really good, so do not sleep on Jake Haener. He did get run with the second team today, whereas Spencer Rattler, a lot of people expected he might be the QB2 in New Orleans this year. Ross Jackson, shout out to him over at Locked On Saints and a variety of other outlets that he puts a lot of information out. He's one of the best and a close personal friend of mine. He reported this. It just also praised to A.T. Perry. I mean, this is such a really cool tweet to me. A.T. Perry had the play of the day on a pass from Jake Haener over the middle. Passing over the middle works for New Orleans. It's worked in the past. Let's keep doing it. He skied above the defense, wrangled it with one hand, kind of corralled it in, and then secured it with two hands on the way down. It's really good stuff from Scary Perry. And on top of that, Jake Haener also had a beautiful throw down the left side to Chris Olave as well, after a high snap. So that's some good news if you ask me. I really like this, hearing this report from Ross Jackson. If A.T. Perry can continue to develop, I think that he's the biggest sleeper on this team this year, and I think he's the biggest breakout candidate on the team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But, whew, Jake Haener can win the QB2 battle. Things get real spicy this offseason, especially in the future. So I want to ask you this question. Who will be QB2? Is it going to be Jake Haener or is it going to be Spencer Rattler? Type their initials in the comment section, and if you know ball, prove it down below. Now, really quick, here is what the Saints offseason schedule is looking like. Right now, we're in the midst of the first session of OTAs. We'll have another session in about a week, and then in June, early June, we'll have another 3-day session. Mandatory minicamp, that's when players need to be showing up. So that's when we're really going to start, getting the panic siren going if players aren't there. June 11th through 13th. Training camp, no dates yet. It will be out in California in Irvine. TBD on whether or not fans can go. So hopefully they let you guys do that. But quick reminder, subscribe for coverage for all of these dates, for all the news and updates around the New Orleans Saints, because there's a lot to come over the next handful of weeks and the next couple of months. So let's get back on track here. Dennis Allen, he spoke about Alontae Taylor in year 2 in his post-practice press conference. Say that 10 times fast. In his post-practice press conference. He expects a lot of growth from Taylor in year 2 in that slot position. Rather than playing on the outside, I do expect Taylor to be the starting slot corner for the Saints. And I think DA actually made a pretty good point when he kind of like elaborated and explained it, saying, this is year 2 for Alontae Taylor, essentially. In year 1, he was a backup. He got a little bit of run, but he was more so on the outside, kind of played inside, whatever. But this is his real year 2 where he gets all of the spring, not just training camp, to turn into a nickelback and to get reps and get practice and learn and develop at a slot corner role. So I think that that's a really good point. I'm excited to see what Alontae Taylor can do. I do think he's better on the outside, but I do think he has the skill set to succeed on the inside as well. And in 2024, it's worth noting Paulson Adebo is on a contract year. I thought this picture was so fresh, so we had to just talk about him for a second. Expect big things from number 29 this season. He's going to be playing for a lot of money. He's going to be looking for a big-time contract this time next year, in about 9 to 10 months. I think that I think that Paulson Adebo is going to have a really, really noisy season. He's coming off a fantastic 2023 campaign, so I'm excited to see what he can do this year for the black and gold. And in 2024, it's also worth noting, I think that this might be Derek Carr's last shot to be like the true starting quarterback without any QB competition. Like, we all know that this is the year Derek Carr is the QB1. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts about it. He is your QB1. But if he struggles this year, if he isn't that good, if the offense is still stale, maybe we start seeing later in the season after some failure, a Jake Haener or a Spencer Rattler get some runs. So I do think that Derek Carr, the pressure's on, the seat's getting hot, and back is kind of getting against the wall here. I'm not saying he can't succeed. I'm rooting for him to succeed. I just think that this might be the last chance he gets to prove he is a true starting quarterback with zero competition. And bold take for you, I think that Olave and Shaheed this year are actually going to combine for more than 2,000 yards. Last year was a little over 1,800. Olave about 1,123 yards exactly, actually. And Shaheed had a little over 700, so a little over 1,800 total yards for the two of them. I think that they're both going to combine for over 2,000, whether that means they're both 1,000-yard receivers or Olave goes crazy and gets like 1,500 yards and Shaheed goes for 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen this year, but I think that it's going to be a really electric year, and I think Kubiak's going to bring the best out of these players. Now, to round things out, here are the matchups that I think I'm going to pay attention to the most this offseason and this OTA session, especially as the offseason progresses. There's a lot of other ones out there, but I kind of narrowed it down to the 10 most important, at least in my opinion. I think that the left guard spot is wide open. I think it's going to be tough to see who's going to take over. Nick Saldiveri is an option. I think you could also go with the idea of bringing in another player. You have Hergel, who is a UDFA. You have Lucas Patrick, who has reps at the left guard position as well. Perry and Shaheed, who's going to be wide receiver too? That's going to be a really interesting one. I think that A.T. Perry, like I said earlier, could be a big-time breakout this year for the New Orleans Saints. I also think that Kendre Miller and Jamal Williams, that's going to be an interesting battle at running back too. Who knows? Maybe Williams is a cut candidate or a trade candidate as we get closer to the regular season. Kool-Aid McKinstry and Alontae Taylor, I have them listed for CB3. It's just kind of, for me, like, I know that Alontae Taylor's likely going to be the slot guy, but he's really talented on the outside, so maybe this kind of turns into a rotation of Taylor and McKinstry and Adebo and Lattimore kind of all rotating at any point in time. You have any of the four of them on the field. That could be interesting. Jordan Howden, year 2, I'm expecting him to make some noise in training camp. We'll see how he matches up against Jonathan Abram. And then obviously you have your special teams ones, which are really important. You brought in a UDFA in punter in Hayball and out of Vanderbilt, and then Charlie Smith, the Irish kicker. But do not sleep on that fullback battle as well. Adam Prentice versus Xander Horvath. I think that's going to be a really good one, especially with how creative the 49ers offense utilized Kyle Juszczyk, especially in the passing game, which is what Clint Kubiak did. He was the passing game coordinator in San Francisco. We'll see how that position battle develops as well. But I'm curious, one final question for you. Which side of the ball are you most excited to watch? Just type offense or type defense down below in the comment section. So just to kind of round things out, some final thoughts. In case I missed something, I'm just going to kind of read some notes here. The left guard position battle is wide open. There's a lot of early rotating going on. Do not read too much into players like Taliese Fuaga lining up on the left side or Penning on the right side. This is just practice. This is the early stages of practice. On top of that, the new offensive staff, they're preaching a lot of tempo during the drills. They're not going to be screaming, chirping in your ears, but they're going to be vocal, and they're preaching the emphasis on speed and quickness of getting in and out of plays. Willie Gay, he's been adding a lot of athleticism and speed to the linebacker group, which is really, really awesome. And on top of that, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, Cameron Jordan, all present today. In Father Time, looks like they're going to take another loss from those three guys because they just aged like a fine wine. But really quick, guys, last things last. Hit me up on social media at Trace Girouard 48 on Instagram or on Twitter /X and at Trace Girouard 48 _ on Instagram. This is my Saints specific Instagram. You can actually see pictures of my new dog on that Instagram. So if you want to go check those out, I posted them on both platforms. Give me a follow for more updates around the Saints during the offseason. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.